dapat beasiswa Hafiz Al-Quran 15 juz dan 30 juz, beasiswa duafa, beasiswa Pondok Pesantren UI, beasiswa akademi seni, serta beasiswa unggulan. Sudah banyak alumni dari Fakultas Ilmu Agama Islam yang tersebar dan berkarya untuk bangsa. Saatnya kalian menjadi bagian dari kami, siap terdepan menjadi teladan.
Baik. Ya sih, J.
Okay. It is 10 o'clock in Malaysia and 9 o'clock in Yogyakarta. Operator, please can you mute all the video?
Tuan, dia harus bayar ni. Ini tak.
Oke, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Welcome aboard to all participants. Before we start our session, there will be a number of rules in the session, and I hope that all participants to thoroughly follow. The first rule is please kindly mute all your audio when you join the Zoom meeting, especially when the session has started, and we expect there will be no additional sound that may distract the speaker when they present the topics. And the second rule, it is advised to all participants to fill up attendance form for certificate purposes. And then for the third rules, I hope the participant actively engage in the session and prepared some of related question to the speaker. And the question may be written up in the Zoom chat room or directly addressed orally to the speaker. I kindly advise to the participant to introduce yourself first before asking the question. Right now, the Honorable Dean of Faculty of Islamic Studies, Dr. Tamyiz Muharram MA, the Honorable Head of Department of Islamic Studies, Dr. Rahmaniti Morita, distinguished speaker, Prof. Moha Asri, and Dr. Nurholis, and all honorable participants. Alhamdulillah wa syukurillah wa la hawla quwata illa billah. Praise be to Allah, the merciful God, who has given us mercy and blessings so that we can gather in this agenda in the best health and iman. And peace be upon to our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, the Prophet who guided us with Quran and Sunnah as way of life in pursuing of knowledge. All right, there will be 3 agendas today, and the first agenda is a welcoming speech from the Dean of Faculty of Islamic Studies, Universitas Islam Indonesia, Dr. Tamyiz Muharram MA, and the second agenda is presentation from our expert speakers, and the third agenda will be Q&A sessions. And also, I remind to all participants to focus and engage the session favorably. And by the end of the session, the committee will also provide a door prize for lucky. Okay, for this event is more blessed. Let's us recite Basmalah together. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. And the first agenda is welcoming speech from our Dean of Faculty of Islamic Studies, Dr. Tamyiz Muharram MA. The agenda is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa mawalah, amma ba'd. Honorable Professor Dr. Moha Asri, Honorable Dr. Nurholis, speaker this discussion, international discussion, and all participants. I'm Dean of Fakulty Islamic Fakulty Universitas Islam Indonesia. Welcome and appreciate this international discussion about Halalpreneurship, and future. I am Dean of Islamic Faculty appreciate this discussion, and I hope ending and good result for facing of generation millennial generation. I think enough of here my speak. شكرا كثيرا في هذا اللقاء الحوار يعني العلمية لمناقشة يعني اقتصاد إسلامي. شكرا كثيرا. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you so much from Dean of Faculty of Islamic Studies, Dr. Tamyiz Muharram MA. And the next is the grand theme for today lectures discussion forum is about the halalpreneurship opportunity and challenges. And having with us two our distinguished speakers, the expert in halalism, Prof. Moha Asri and Dr. Nurholis. And we know that the proliferation of Islamic industries should not be underestimated today, especially since 2008, the industry indisputably progressed into a particular selective lifestyle by introducing an elaborate section of halal concept in the economic and finance industries. Despite of its enormous effect on the industry, such as manufacturers, food and drinks, fashion, pharmaceutical, tourism, halal concept had led to the new shifting of our consumer and producer motive to engage in entrepreneurship, especially as the highlight point that can be promote the business. Especially when we are in the middle of recovery of MCO from COVID-19, even more, every country also faced the recession issues. So that's why we will be discussing further on this issue. How can we manage the industry? What are the opportunities and challenges? What is the best strategic course of action that need to be undertaken? Hence, now we have to attend it. Between us, the expert is Prof. Moha Asri. He graduated from University of London and currently serving as one of the professors in International Islamic University Malaysia in Kuliah Economic and Management Sciences and IHAR, International Halal Research and Training. While his responsibilities include commercializing halal products and services, providing consultancy services to private and public agencies on halal-related matters, conducting various halal training programs and sessions, including customized halal training programs for clients in Malaysia, Taiwan, South Korea, Japan, China, Germany, Pakistan, and some other countries. And our second speaker is Dr. Nurholis, graduated from State Islamic University of North Sumatra, Medan, and currently serving as a senior lecturer in the Department of Islamic Economics. Okay, without further ado, let's start our discussion to Prof. Moha. The session is yours. You may share screen your presentation, and please, operator, for all the participants, please mute your audio so we can focus to listen to our speakers. Please.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Chairman, Honorable Deans, Dr. Tamyiz Muharram, my co-speakers, Dr. Nurholis, and also heads of the departments, Dr. Ahmad, all guests, students, staff. First and foremost, I am honored to be invited to these platforms, and thank you, especially Sister Rahmawati, for approaching myself to contribute to this speech and talks. This is not much about speech and talks to me. It is about sharing knowledge. So from my humble knowledge in this areas entrepreneurship, inshallah, we will share something is good for the country, is little efforts, inshallah. Today, it is encouraged turn off the mics so as we can do this smoothly. So the titles that is given to me today is about understandings Halalpreneurship, and essentiality of the these are some of the things that I would like to share today. First, perhaps we go a little bit on the definitions of halal entrepreneurships. Before we move to the concepts of halalpreneurs itself, on the can you see my screens, my slides now? All right, let me share again. The subsequent steps is for me to share on the difference between halalpreneurs and entrepreneurs. What's the main major distinctive areas where we can differentiate between the two entities, if you like. And of course, last but not least, I would like to share on how entrepreneurs are essential. So first, before we go further, perhaps we would like to see what is no news, right? It means about to undertake, to launch, or to begin. It is refers to individual and financial risk to start and grow and expand a business. All right, so entrepreneurs is someone who is assemble all various factors, productions or resources, if you like, the people's resources, materials, minerals, as well as capitals or the money, with these factors, productions, churn it, integrates it, all right, and produce goods and services with certain business model, certain strategy, or modes of productions, if you like, that's able to transform all these resources into goods and services. So what is the halal entrepreneurships? All right, halal entrepreneurships is a concept that's we cannot separate it from overall Islamic concepts, because we know that Islam is a holistic religion that encompasses itself entrepreneurships, which cannot be separated from Islam. So halal entrepreneurships very much within or falls within the scopes of Sharia, which involve Aqidah, the fiqh, the akhlaq, as well as the physicals embodied through the initiative and activities. All right. And as part of integral process in our obligations to Islam as a whole, we as a whole supposed to be a vicegerents in this world of Khalifah. So entrepreneurs themselves are parts of these terms of Khalifah, which is a subject which is designated, which is essence of entrepreneurships. In this relations, therefore, to me, halal entrepreneurship is an integral part of Islamic religion. It is part of jihad for sabilillah, because that is the parts that is done in earnest way in order to uphold the teaching of Islam and evaluate its symbols. In a way, the sources of livelihoods of the community, of the society, as well as is because they are the one who produce goods and services or provide services, who creates and fulfill the demands in the community and society at large. They are the one who provides employment and in along the line able to eradicate poverty, eradicate social criminals, if you like, from the wrongdoings, okay? Because by providing jobs, they are also as stepping stones to go to bigger firms. So while doing this is the kind of worships and righteous deeds to bridge relationship between the men and Allah. We call it hablum min Allah. And men to other men, or humans to other humans. We call it hablum min nas. So within this process, it is very much Halalpreneurship falls within the concepts of halal and tayyiban. Why is this so? Because as a Muslims, all right, Muslims, be it entrepreneurs, be it ordinary commoners, all right, be it someone, all right, of higher status in the society, Muslims should believe, all right, are systems that cover facts and actions. So entrepreneurs themselves cover facts and actions. Why? Because they are governed by, guided by Sharia and Islamic jurisprudence using primary and Islamic sources. So halal and haram, all right, is a series should be parts of this halal and haram spectrums. Muslims are urged to halal and tayyiban. So as entrepreneurs are urged to produce goods and services that are halal and tayyiban, provide services that are halal and tayyiban as well. So we can see, say for examples, in from the ayat 2, all right, Surah 2 ayat 160.
All right, it seems the connection is unconnected.
Wherever is unconnected. Okay, coming back.
Okay.
Can you see now?
We can see.
Yeah, I was about to read this Quran, ayat 2, Surah 2, ayat 168, which Ya ayyuhan nas kulu mimma fil ardi halalan tayyiba, which means that all you people eat what is on earth halal and tabi'u khutwati shaitan, and do not follow the steps of Saitans, because innahu lakum aduwwum mubin, which is indeed he is to you a clear enemy. So therefore, in this context, as halalpreneurs, halal is permissible, lawful, of course, and tayyib is good, wholesome, and safe. So halal and tayyib is a required, a must, an obligation for halalpreneurs to produce in that conformity of halal and tayyibas. Can be related to this, but what I would like to share here is more on the examples from, say, Al-Quran, Surah 5, ayat 3. All right, I have to read because quite long, but examples of permitted, of course, food and beverages. All right, permits properly slaughtered cattle, sheep, goats, deer, camels, chickens, or whatnot, all seafoods, all non-poisonous vegetables, fruit, vegetations. And the prohibited harams, of course, that animals, swine, flowing bloods, intoxicants, okay, cannibalizing animals, so forth and so forth. So in a case, it is very clear for the halalpreneurs to follow these guidelines. All right. We have this also in following the guidelines called Maqasid Sharia. Amongst the 5 pillars of the objective of Sharia is to achieve deen, naf, akal, nas, and mouths. Then how these entrepreneurs are in the context of religion, say for examples, we have a situations, protections of religions. It is through providing good, producing goods and services. And through halal and tayyib, already using Islamic finance or whatnot, our religion. So as protections of life, from providing goods, providing services that is halal, all right, and tayyibs, all right, that's good, that is not halal, that is not halal. So it means that it protects life from possible damage, all right, of of brain, say from the alcohol, all right, so by not producing alcohol, say for example. All right, so as protections of intellectual, how then the halalpreneurs come in this context? It is about, all right, protecting the brains, protecting intellectuals of halal innovations and commercializations, through which more and more competitive, quality, productive products could be produced. This is true, all right. The strategic choice, the modes of productions. This is kind of intelligence and intellectuality that entrepreneurs should use and promotes within it. And of course, protections of lineage, it is the concepts, the knowledge, and the practices, all right, that can be inherited for generations, all right, which they don't have to find new ones, okay, to sustain the generations of Muslims and Islams as a whole. So as protections of property from the goodness of producing goods and services, entrepreneurs can accumulate wealth which can be donated you name business and loss of this business. The entrepreneurs or hardships can be referred from the source of Al-Quran and Sunnah in general. Right from history of the past, all right, embarks a lot in business by having his wife Khadijah, say for example. So it's very much coming from a source of law and hadith and the prophets, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In Malaysia, say for example, we have standards, halal standards. We have, of course, logo jakim and whatnot as certifications of following certain guidelines of halals to be competence for the markets. All right. Let me move, and when we resolve this sources of halalpreneurs, let me differentiate. What's the difference between halalpreneurs or halal entrepreneurships and halalpreneur or entrepreneurs, normal entrepreneurs? In this context, all right, we can in fact we can differentiate it from the 5 silence points, if you like. First is the concept. Halalpreneurs and entrepreneurs. The difference is that the halalpreneurs, of course, we are based on Maqasid Sharia, the understandings of Islam, understandings of the purpose of productions, all right, understandings of what to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce, scope of knowledge, all right, and what is the motivational factors behind this or behind producing goods and services. This should be clearly understood by halalpreneurs. So this very much is embedded, integrated into the overall Maqasid. We have 5 pillars in it, right? Which is that the faith, the human life, the offsprings, the properties, and so forth, the one that we have just discussed. However, entrepreneurs as a whole, all right, is based on common laws or country laws and the profits, all right, because profit maximization is the main objective. But we are different because we are under Maqasid Sharia. Profit should be there to sustain and to survive the companies, but it's not, should not be the ultimate objective, all right, from Islamic point of view and from halalpreneurs concepts of, all right, of the field itself. All right, let me share on what to produce. In halalpreneurs, what to produce supposedly is producing goods and services that is permissible by Sharia, all right, and is needed based on products priorities. Why is it product priorities? Well, we can produce products that is very luxurious, but is discouraged from Islamic point of view. So Halalpreneur should not focus on luxurious goods and services when it comes to manufacturing it. So in terms of product priorities, we have like, okay, the terms of necessities. What are those necessity goods? It can be referred to what? All right, basic food, shelter, all right, protection, clothes, okay, spouse, that's basic needs of the human beings. And that should be made available by halalpreneurs. When it comes to comfort, all right, it is encourageable as well, because we have, as a Muslims, we have to strive for, all right, conducive living environments among Muslim society. So comforts, it can have, all right, be having transports, having a mosque, surah, madrasah to pray, for community engagement, so forth and so forth, but not for luxury. Luxury is allowable, is discourageable, but can be produced, all right, for some who can afford, of course. And also there are some harmful products. It is very much haram, but sometimes can be no haram. What are those? It is needs sometimes, like what? Weaponry, all right, guns, equipments, okay, artillery, to defend ourselves, to defend our country is harmful, right? But we need it, so it has to be produced as well. So from Islamic point of view, we have what we call it daruriyat, essential, so-called hajiyat needs, all right. Tasniyat is about embellishments, goods, all right. Mubahat, which is luxury, and haram, of course. This is a terms that we can emulate out of what to produce for halalpreneurs. What's the difference with entrepreneurs is that what people want and make profits, because entrepreneurs, conventional entrepreneurs, just depend on the demands out there. That means neglecting those who cannot afford, willing but unable to fork out money. Therefore, they cannot be provided. All right, so this is contrast from with the halalpreneurs. So entrepreneur, conventional entrepreneurs also produce based on making profits alone. So whether it's haram, whether it's harmful, so long as the profit is coming in, they just produce it, supposedly. All right. All right, let me move to the third points of how to produce. As halalpreneurs, all right, how to produce, all right, is supposedly we should produce with very efficient and productive systems, because the wastage is haram, okay, in view, keeping in view the profits, but also through halal process. That means we have to find ways to produce efficiently, keeping in view of the profits and motive, all right? And we should understand as halalpreneurs that resources are plentiful in this world, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have endowed us with huge amounts of resources. All right. And if there is a scarcity, it is not because of there is no resources, but it is about improper use of resources. This is what halalpreneurs should view it. All right. If it is scarcity involved in the society, it is because of unequal distributions of resources. It is because of lacks of knowledge to convert and transform resources from unproductive to productive resources. Right, like say we have this plentiful of gold, but how can we make it a commercializable gold? So we have to drill and whatnot. So long as there is no technology, no knowledge to acquire and exploit it, that resources cannot be productive. So as a halapreneur, explorations, innovations, all right, should be there, all right, to produce those resources given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The difference from this how to produce in the entrepreneurs is that, of course, they focus on efficiency and productivity, which is good, all right, but the main desire conventional entrepreneurs is that to maximize profits. So any approach, whether it's halal, whether it's haram, irrespectively, they just produce it to maximize profits. So it's a clear difference between the two. All right, let me move to the fourth points. For whom to produce? Halapreneurs should produce it for the Muslim and humanity as a whole, not just for the Muslims, but for humanities that who likes to enjoy the products, all right, to enjoy the services under the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nonetheless, if we look at entrepreneurs, it's solely on the solely based on the demand in the markets out there. All right, so long as the demands they produce, but from the Muslims context, halapreneurs is for the ummah. That means even though the demands is there, even though the people don't have money, there are things that we should produce good and services for them. This is our fardu, ain and fardu kifaya. Right, let me move to the scopes of worldview from the halapreneurs context of this. Of course, supposedly, halapreneurs should have Islamic and business knowledge in it, all right? Which is differentiate or distinct itself from conventional entrepreneurs that is based only on the business knowledge. The 6 silence points that differentiate the two, halapreneurs and entrepreneurs, is the profit and al-falah. Halapreneurs very much focus on profits as well as al-falah in this world and hereafter. The success, whatever success that we do in this world is also represent the success in the worlds hereafter, supposedly. Therefore, bearing this in mind, producing goods is not just to gain profits, but to gain, all right, good deeds, all right, for the permanent rewards in the permanent worlds, in the worlds hereafter. All right. Clearly, this is different than entrepreneurs. Normal, conventional entrepreneurs just profit oriented. All right. Last but not least, in terms of differences, the stakeholders. When we relate to stakeholders, halapreneurs should bear in mind the scopes of stakeholder is larger. It involves not just consumers, workers, suppliers, manufacturers, financiers, owners, community ummah, but also Allah, the gods, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All right. This is the different points from conventional entrepreneurs. They don't have gods. All right. They don't consider gods into these stakeholders. Whatever wrongdoing, all right, it is not yes, it is, all right, business. All right, let me move to last silence points. Let me move to last subtopics that I was sharing to you earlier, which is about why halapreneurs are
HP Bapak.
Well, if you look at the green, to be about 700 billions by this year. All right, of course, some setback happens, all right? And this beverages, all right, pharmaceuticals, products, healthcare, so forth and so forth. And if you look at the demand, and from this is from Business Wire, all right, by the year, all right, the 2021, the markets for the halal is projected to be, all right, 2.2 trillions. That's very, very high. Why this happens and why entrepreneur and halalpreneurs economically essential? First is that global Muslim populations rising. If you look at this slide, say for example, quick facts. In the year 2014, Muslim population consists of 23 of the world populations. By the year 2030, 26, all right, by the year 25, by the year 2050, the Muslim will grow as much as 73%, which means that by the year 2050, all right, the Muslim will be outnumbered the Christians in terms of populations. All right. Therefore, by the growing trend of the Muslim population in the world, all right, be it in the Muslim majority as well as Muslim minority countries, all right, this clearly provides a huge push in terms of the global demand, all right, in the markets, in the world markets out there. All right. If I may go to some selected countries here, all right, like say Australia and Brazil, they are not Muslims, but they are supplying halal foods as much as 21 billions, all right, in the year 2018 for the Brazil and 9.87 billions for the Australia. So this shows non-Muslims also, all right, producing halal goods. Okay, and we have it, of course, Indonesia, all right, in China, in Japan, UAE, of course, in Pakistan, all right. And if you look at this survey, the survey conducted by Thomson Reuters in the reports 2017-2018, you can see the recent reports. Based on the global Islamic economy today, Malaysia is charted or ranked first country in terms of the values of goods and services provided to the halal world markets. Because, all right, Malaysia champions in halal food, all right, halal travels and halal finance, Islamic finance markets, all right. One mistakes that we would like to ponder here. In the year 2018, 1.8 billion all right. By the year 2050, more than 99% of the world Muslim populations will reside in Europe. All right, to the Muslims and the Muslims in those countries. All right. A survey is conducted way back by Nations, the year 2050. The trend of the halal markets today, all right, while following religious requirements, growing. Say for example here, the survey on sustainability of the halal products. The product is known for its halal. global respondents is 59, but respondents willing to pay more as long as the product is health and wellness benefits, having wellness benefits. All this prescribes what is in the Muslims products or halal and tayyibas. All right. Also the products fresh, naturals, organic ingredients. The survey shows that global respondent 57, but the respondent willing to. All right. So as the products that been environmentally friendly, 45 but consumer would like to pay more. All right. The products that has a commitment to social value, which is very much in line with Islamic concepts of halalpreneurship, 43, but respondent willing to pay more as much as 56%. All right. And the survey also found that the product's packaging is environmentally friendly, very much in accordance to environmental protections, our generation in Makasih Syariah earlier, whereby global respondents would like to have 41%, but respondents actually willing to pay more as long as the products is focusing on this. So that shows over 50% of the consumers who are willing to pay more for sustainable offerings were drawn from health and wellness as well as environmental sustainability, which is very much integrated, encompasses, all right, in the Islamic concepts of Makasih Syariah. And this is the duty for halalpreneurs to move ahead with this nature of the products so as they will be well received by consumers out there. Another point that I would like to share, I think it's the last few slides because I'm last slides here. I'm already exceeds the time. Sorry, Chairman. All right, here, why halalpreneurs are essential. If you look at this graph, what you can guess, you see out of the peak, all right, a lot of contamination with non-halal material, fat derivative, brush, shortness, bone, bloods, you name it. So it is very much the halalpreneurs to find replacements for this derivative and make it halal than what it is presently in the markets. If it is successfully done, it will be great contributions on the parts of halalpreneurs to the Muslim world and to the world hereafter for the rest of the Muslims. I think in line with this, inshallah, my book soon will be coming into the markets. The concept of halalpreneurship, all right, with a few other authors, will be published by IM Press. Inshallah, if things goes well by the end of this year. All right, let's pray for it. So I think this is references that I use for this talks. Thank you very much again for RIU for inviting me in these platforms and for the rest of my colleagues and students. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you so much, Prof. Moha Asri. We're really sorry for the really bad connection, so I will help you to summarize what has been addressed by Prof. Moha. Essentially, the halalpreneurship is how we can relate the halal itself into the context of religious of Islamic entrepreneurship, where in Islam, halalpreneurship we may be considered as the jihad fisabilillah. This is the highlight point that will be the specialization for the halalpreneurship rather than the traditional one. And the several issues that has been integrated in the concept of halalpreneurship also covers the concept of makosid syariah. So that's why for the producers, when they try to produce the goods and services, they need to abide to the makosid syariah, the concept of makosid and syariah. But what I quite get an interesting part, Prof. Moha also said that halalpreneurship also can provide necessities and secondary product and services, and also luxury goods. You may be we will be discussing further how far the luxurious goods and services that can be provided by halalpreneurs. We know that Islam also tries to warn us to not transgress into the luxurious lifestyle. So how come halalpreneur to limit themselves while they're producing such as luxurious goods? And also the halalpreneurs also they must also abide by how they can appropriately use the resources on earth, so they can limit themselves to not engaging into the excess in exploration and excess in exploitation. So they can be conserving the earth greenly and sustainably. That's what's the issue that about the halalpreneurship. And the last thing that what has been addressed by Prof. Moha is also that halalpreneurs they can promote to ethical consumer market. So basically, while halalpreneurs provide some good and fair services, they can promote how to educate the consumers today to become much more ethically done, to conduct business and services more effectively, efficiently, and ethically. And that's all from Prof. Moha presentation. Right now, we will continue to the second speakers, to Dr. Nurhalis. Dr. Nurhalis, are you with us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alhamdulillah.
Okay, Dr. Nurhalis, please you can elaborate further for the halalpreneurship in Indonesia, especially about the opportunities and challenges right now that we are currently face in the middle of COVID-19, especially right now in Indonesia. The case is increasingly, wow, the pace is absolutely ridiculous, around 4,000 cases today. So maybe you can perhaps give some information for us, how can we engage into the halalpreneurship today? Okay, please.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Zain, as a moderator. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa syukurulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, la hawla wa la quwata illa billah, amma ba'd. Honorable Speaker, Prof. Moha Asri, alhamdulillah, nice to meet you. Mr. Dean, Pak Dr. Tamyiz Muharram, Head of Islamic Studies Department, Dr. Rahmaniti Morita, Head of Islamic Economic Program, ya. So yeah, all speaker, especially Prof. Moha Asri, all participants, ya, from many regions in Indonesia, from Indonesia, also from Malaysia. Okay, allow me to present my paper. I show start screen, yeah?
Yes, please.
Yeah, right. It can be seen?
Yes, we can see it if you...
Alhamdulillah, okay.
Thank you.
Tayyip. Just now we heard a very well explanation about halalpreneur from Professor Moha. He explained detailedly about halalpreneur, also the parameter, also correlation with maqasid syariah, etc. Now I will focus on maybe on opportunities and challenges, especially in Indonesia and also in the globally. My presentation online, the first about halalpreneur meaning, it is very short explanation about halalpreneur from my perspective, deeply from Mr. Moha, many aspects. Halal certification in Indonesia, we have to know about it. Halal certification now organized by BPJH, and about opportunities, also about challenges. Meaning halal, of course, it is about permissible. Haram, not permissible. Halal become global word, and it is a way of life covering all aspects of financial, social, behavior, food, drink, clothes, etc. When we call about something like food, it is halal. They fulfill not include blood or alcohol, must be sorted in the correct manner in the name of Allah by basmalah, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Must not be any forbidden animal, including pigs, carnivorous animal, bird, prey, etc. Must be processed, made, produced, manufactured, stored using machinery, must have been cleansed according to Islamic law, avoid najis, etc. Halal standard about the specific requirement of halal product and service in Indonesia before BPJH, LPPOM MUI, Majelis Ulama Indonesia, and now the institution that responsible in conducting halal standard, it is working together with CAN, SNI, is BPJH. Of course, in relation also with LPPOM MUI. Now, halal certification, every country has its own Islamic council that is certified to give the official halal seal of approval. And Indonesia, it is the logo of halal in Indonesia, logo of halal in many countries, from Malaysia, from many countries, in other countries. About entrepreneur, because we discussed about halalpreneur, entrepreneur, a person who organize and operates a business or businesses, maybe more than one, taking on greater than normal financial risk in order to do so. Operationally, an entrepreneur was regularly launch new business because many opportunities, they can launch new business every month or every year, sell them, and then start new business in a serial entrepreneur. Additionally, although the term entrepreneur is associated with startup and small business, and the founder of successful household name business began as also entrepreneur. Based on this meaning, when we call halalpreneur, of course, it is a word consists two parts. Halal, one thing, and entrepreneur, one thing. When it is collected in one word, halalpreneur, according to what I understand, he is a person who organize and operate business or business that complies to Sharia rules and regulation. How many parameters as business can be categorized as Islamic or halal? There are 5 parameters. The first, about the establishment of business capital. It is very important. The source of capital must be from the halal risk, halal money, permissible money. It is the first one. Establishment of business capital must be from the halal income, halal revenue, etc. The second one about products and input material must be avoid all harmful. And the third, about management and business process, must be managed well, comply to Sharia rule and regulation, all business process from beginning until the end. Include about what is the human resources, how to manage human resources, etc. And also the fourth about marketing and sales. Marketing and sales also it is kind as the parameter of a business can be categorized as Islamic or halal if avoid, for instance, cheating, etc. in selling. Yeah. And the last one about social and environmental impact. It's all a parameter about how the business can be categorized as Islamic or halal. A halal entrepreneur, halalpreneur must be pay attention about this parameter. If one parameter is not be fulfilled by an entrepreneur, not halal entrepreneur anymore. Okay. About the halal industry in the future, etc. Prof. Moha explained just now very well, and now I'll discuss about halal certification in Indonesia. According to the history, halal certification in Indonesia began at 1988 when at the time discovered a product derived from pig. And after it, Majelis Ulama Indonesia established LP-POM MUI that certify about the product it is halal or especially permissible. And at the time, halal certification in Indonesia is voluntary, not obligatory. Now, nowadays, after the Act 14 and 2014, halal certification is a compulsory. It is different. In the beginning, halal certification is voluntary. Now, based on this Act, 33 2014 about jaminan produk halal, and it is legalized at the time and run last year, the end of last year 2019. According to halal certification, a compulsory but process step by step, not directly all product must be halal, but we will know about the process, the step to how to conduct halal certification in Indonesia. About halal taibah, it is about regulation in Indonesia. It means that halal is legalized in Indonesia based on the act ordered by the government. It is BPJH based on the act, also regulation from Minister of Religion about the structure. Here it is the structure of BPJH, and now it's still process in the many region in Indonesia. The stakeholder very much also MUI include here LP-POM, ministry, also universities. Why universities? Halal Center, UII, Islamic University of Indonesia, also will contribute in the halal process being LPH, Lembaga Pemeriksa Halal, because when university have many machine to test about it is about its content pig or not, it is allowable as a regulation to conduct institution. The name is Lembaga Pemeriksa Halal, LPH. University can contribute as this institution. Process certification, about certification, halal certification, Fatwa MUI, it is very important thing in halal certification, because parameter to evaluate it is halal or not based on Fatwa Majelis Ulama Indonesia. The process, totally about 2 months, the process from beginning until the end, and the certification will be legally until 4 years. It means that every 4 years, an entrepreneur or institution must re-certification for halal product. And BPJH also make a special scheme for small and medium enterprises, because it is different, and the amount of small and medium enterprises in Indonesia is very much. It is different about the process and the cost, about how to halal certification for UMKM. We in Indonesia call it as UMKM, small and medium enterprises. It is the process. From here, we know that the process, the step to halal certification in Indonesia based on non-pharmaceutical, it is pharmaceutical medicine, 5 years until 2024, it is for food and drinks, and after it, we will know about it is non-food and drinks, PKRT, product, biologis product, vaccine, etc. It is after 4 years and from now, beginning at 2026. Now, about certification in Indonesia, we know about CAN, It is an institution based on Badan Standarisasi Nasional (BSN), have halal certification body, LPPMUI, also accreditation by CAN in the 2017. Supporting testing laboratory also accredited by CAN also. It means that halal process in Indonesia accredited and certified by authority CAN and BSN. It is the process sinergi about also lembaga pemeriksa halal. It is a university now is process in registering our university. Nah, it is about the process flow of halal accreditation and certification. We know here it is like certification, process certification. It is industry come to LPH, lembaga pemeriksa halal. After it going to laboratory, the result of laboratory will be sent to BPJH, and MUI making fatwa about this product, is it permissible or not, and BSN can as coordination in the level of accreditation and certification in the tool, etc. It is the flow of halal accreditation and certification recently based on the existing of BPJH, Badan Pemerintah Jaminan Produk Halal in Indonesia. Alhamdulillah, also about BPJH, it is the process about assessment and accreditation, international regional cooperation, accreditation body, conformity assessment body, as the product. It means that the process, a product certified as halal, it run in very long process it means that how to make society trust to the product. If the product certified halal, it means that truly halal, because the process is very long. Also about international standard, yeah. Indonesia, yeah, ini just now in the beginning of this year being member of SMAIT, also being a member of IHAF. Yeah. IHAF is International Association Forum in Halal International Agriculture Network, based on Emirates, and Alhamdulillah, in order to the process of halal certification in Indonesia, internationally acknowledged and known, and what is it, internationally can be accepted. Yeah. Of course, we have to be part of the international organization. The scope of product services, certificate halal pyramid, it is about implementing specific requirement, auditing of the conformity, evaluation, also mutual recognition. SMEG, halal chain, yeah, halal chain in this process. About methodology, yeah, it is mentioned reference material, laboratories, standard, it is for standard, certification, and also fulfill the accreditation. This means that how halal standard in Indonesia fulfill the requirement, the accreditation, certification from international standard. Because there are many benefits of halal quality infrastructure, the traceability, increase of consumer trust on halal, mutual recognition, also diminishing technical barriers to trade. Yeah. Now, how about opportunities in Indonesia? Yeah. Just now, Professor Moha also referred to this publication, State of the Global Islamic Economic Report. If we compare it with the previous year, it is the latest, we will find that the number of growing, that we can know about the total amount of spending. It means that from the spending of consumer, Muslim customer especially, to halal, expanded, increase. But unfortunately, in the data, you find that wood is the biggest importer in the world. According to the data, the biggest importer of halal food and beverage in the world is Indonesia. Indonesia, as the biggest Muslim country in the world, become the biggest importer also in halal food and beverage in the world also. It means that it is challenge of Indonesian how not to be importer, but how to be exporter, because we are as a Muslim and the biggest Muslim in the world, how to take the opportunity in the market of globally market about halal and how to prepare it. We will find after it about how Indonesia, especially government minister, prepare to reach the goal of Indonesia. Excuse me, what is it? No. Is this waiting room? Mr.
Yes.
There is announcement. Oh, yeah. Maybe wrong. Waiting room. Okay. Indonesia opportunities based on the Indonesia Halal Economy and Strategy Roadmap. Yeah, it is launched 2 years ago. There are many opportunities. Domestic consumption and growth, yeah, increase for the export demand, yeah, also import substitution. It means that Indonesia has many opportunities to fulfill this area, many area how to fulfill the domestic consumption, also the need of export and also import substitution. According to the Indonesia Islamic Economic Master Plan also, based on this document, yeah, there are several clusters in halal value chain in Indonesia. In fashion, halal media and recreation, halal food, halal tourism, halal pharmaceutical and cosmetic. But based on the roadmap, we find that actually halal economy is not limited to the real sector, but also in finance. 7 sector, yeah, 7 core sector of halal economy: food, yeah, culinary; finance, of course, is banking, capital market, etc. Clothing, fashion, tourism. Yeah, in the pandemic, it is costly, yeah, because protocol of health. Yeah. Media and recreation, pharmaceutical. We will discuss about pharmaceutical, how the company in Indonesia, Bio Farma, try to make vaccine, yeah, especially COVID vaccine, yeah, coronavirus vaccine, and also cosmetic. Yeah, it means that core sector of halal economy is very wide, and all entrepreneur can take 1 or 2 or 3, and all core sector. Opportunity, yeah, it is opportunity about according based on number, yeah, halal food, yeah, it is trillion USD, not rupiah. If rupiah is very much, because 1 USD is how much? About 14,000 rupiah. Yeah, it is based on the count in USD, yeah, in dollar. If rupiah, maybe it's not enough the place. Halal global, of course, it just now Mr. Hama also discussed about it. Opportunities, of course, very much, yeah, because Indonesia is Muslim, the biggest Muslim country in the world, and it is very potential to be exported also as a consumer, yeah, not only consumer but also to be exported. What thing very important and interesting, that as vision of halal Indonesia master plan of Islamic economy, yeah, the government, especially represented by Bank Indonesia, it is maybe very big note. Central Bank Indonesia, Bank Indonesia, it is not only about central bank. Lately, when manage about monetary, also manage about halal industry. Yeah. Today will be a seminar also about halal industry launched by Bank Indonesia. It means that the concern of Bank Indonesia not only about central bank but also halal economy, and they make a halal ecosystem. Yeah. According to the framework of halal ecosystem, we will find here from the input process, yeah, until production, processing, marketing, and consumer. What the input? The input, of course, developed industries. Yeah. Many industries that developed in Indonesia. Also community-based, small and medium enterprises, the context very much. Madrasah, pesantren, ya. Bank Indonesia also come to pesantren, to madrasah, ya. Also OJK, for instance, Bank Wakaf come to pesantren also. It is a part of the halal ecosystem, especially in the for financing, for what is it, Bank Wakaf, ya. It means that when input from many part, yeah, from the developed or SME or pesantren, etc., the production many component, yeah. Transportation, warehouse, industrial estate. Nah, it is the opportunity also in one time. In other time is challenge. Industrial estate. After it, we will know how Minister of Industry make halal industrial estate. It means that it is an effort from the government how to make halalpreneur is being part of Indonesia. The financing, it is the ecosystem in the middle part, yeah, production, processing, and marketing. Yeah, it is also about regulation, yeah, regulation, human resources, supporting research and development. It is part of university. We have to take part in research and development, especially in halalpreneur and etc. And a customer, domestic customer, domestic market. We know that especially when COVID come, yeah. Nowadays we still in the pandemic, and halal product received well by communities because it's clean and better and suitable to the protocol of health, and also from the world, it's to how for export. It means that halal ecosystem, it is must be paid attention for to all aspect in order to all aspect for university, industry, regulator, business, entrepreneur, etc. can take part in this ecosystem. Yeah. It is BI, Bank Indonesia, Bank of Central. They have a strategy empowering the Syariah economy dan financing Syariah financial sector. Nah, strengthening research education. It means that a part of halal, it is empowering Syariah economy. It is supported by Bank of Indonesia. Okay, now about opportunities, very much because Indonesia estimated there are species of natural resources, only more than 10,000 have been acknowledged. It means that very much natural resources can be explored as the resource as halalpreneur, and it is opportunity, very big opportunity. And also natural resources, very much from many areas in Indonesia. According to article ini, Muslim are the fastest growing consumer segment in the world. Any company that is not considering how to serve them is missing a significant opportunity to affect both its top and bottom line growth. It means that halal product, halal industry is being a trend in the globally, and we are as Muslim, Malaysia, Indonesia have take big part in this aspect. Many challenge in Indonesia about how to develop halal industry, especially must be led by halalpreneur. Government strategy. We just now I tell you us about government strategy from industrial minister, from bank central, from OJK, yeah, from Minister of Cooperation, etc. Many strategy how to develop the enterprises, especially in halal. Standardization, I just now explain also about standardization conducted by BPJH, not only based on national requirement, but based on the globally requirement. And industry player, nah, according to many Indonesian, that is it urgent to halal certification because we are Muslim? Awareness of industry player must be pushed because some of them awareness is very little because they know that Indonesia is a Muslim country. So when goods and services offered in Indonesia, oh, it is halal. No, but unfortunately, they didn't think about global market, global standard, international standard, etc. It is very important how to make industry player or entrepreneur or halalpreneur have a big awareness about how to fulfill the halal. And the other thing about the gaps international halal regulatory, beginning of this year, the gap will be smallest, yeah, make small, and there's no gap anymore. And halal research must be done by us as university. It is the dream of Indonesian government to be independent, prosperous, civilized Indonesia as the world leading Islamic center. One of the aspect is about strengthening halal value chain as a main strategy. It means that it is a national agenda how to make halal as part of business in Indonesia. KNKS, we know it is a new bodies launched ceremonial in 2019 as a catalysator and synergizer. Today we have ISEF, organized by KNKS in order to how to make Islamic economy, halal economy being part of Muslim communities in Indonesia, not only for academician, regulator, etc., or pesantren, but how halal economy, halalpreneur being part of all communities in Indonesia. It is a synergy among institutions, many ministers here. They work together to make Indonesia being good in developing halal industry, etc. Now, beside COVID-19, Mr. Zen already need to tell about it. Halalpreneur must pay attention to two disruption. The first is technological disruption, and the second one is millennial disruption. What are they? The first, technical disruption, about machine learning in retail store. The development of the digital technology make revolution in many retail business. E-commerce not only based on digital, but they make offline store also. It means that machine learning in retail store, no cashier based on human, but cashier based on machine. In hospitality, it can be done. It means that technical disruption must be paid attention by halalpreneur also. How Maqasid Syariah issue, how fikih issue in this model of transaction. And the second one in the technical disruption, convenient revolution. How ordering one thing based on self-ordering kiosk, for example, cashless payment. It is the time of technical disruption. Next, about the birth of lazy economy. Lazy economy. Lazy economy also leisure economy. Ekonomi senang-senang, ekonomi malas. because everything can be provided digitally based on the Android in the hand. Go live, go daily, etc. All need from the home can be provided by technology. Digital payment is going mainstream, also about QR in Indonesia, QR code, not only for transaction, also for present in the university, now based on barcode also. Then also about IoT ethics, Internet of Things must be paid attention also. And the last about online to offline, O2O, yeah, online to offline. And because many, for instance, it is based on the picture here, Bukalapak is e-commerce, but they has a connection with the retail based of offline. It means that when anyone buy something from Bukalapak, they can take the good from the retail. It is O2O revolution. It means that recently it's not only how something based on the digital, but how combining but between digital and offline.
Right, Dr.
And
Noor,
the second one, millennial disruption. Millennial and entertainment, yeah, from mall to home. Millennial are killing workplace, yeah. Last time, many years ago, when we discuss about, we will work, we will have a discussion in the place, but now work not in the building, but anywhere can work in many places. Millennial, they have trend to work any place, so the millennial are killing workplace. Also millennial, because the next generation, millennial and Z generation, where they love fintech very much and also embrace minimalist lifestyle. Home is small because they prefer experience than goods. According to them, goods lead to anxiety and stress. Experience lead to happiness. It is a millennial disruption. It is about how just now tell you about how Indonesian.
Hello, Dr. Noor.
Okay, yeah, okay. It is vaccine. Alhamdulillah, we hope that halal pharmaceutical ordered by Bio Farma. And how to develop halal industry area? It is from Minister of Industrial in Indonesia, industrial estate. Many it is kawasan industri halal estate, and it is launched by Kemenperin to promote halal industry also. There are many benefits for it. Yeah, it is example from halal estate, yeah, in Sidoarjo, in Sarapak, in Jakarta, etc. In Sarapak, laboratory.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Noor. I think your time is up, so I think you need to proceed for one more minute. Thank you. Okay, please, Pak Noor, can you surmise your presentation?
Yeah, okay, thank you very much. And here it has many opportunities, also many challenges. Halalpreneur in Indonesia will be developed. It means that we are as Muslim how to develop halal industry. We have to take part in this business. It is our responsibility because based on the Professor Mahasri said just now, based on Akidah, Maqasid Syariah, etc., we have to being part of this mainstream of business. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. Please forgive. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you so much for Dr. Nurholis. Before we continue to the third agenda about the question and answer session, I'd like to summarize everything from Dr. Nur. Essentially, when we trying to comfort ourselves into the halalpreneurship, there are 5 elements, 5 essential parameters that halal business should be abide to. First one is about the establishment of business capital. The second one is about the product inputs materials. The third is about process of business, and then the fourth is about the marketing sales, and the fifth about the socially environmentally impact. There are a lot of issue about the halalpreneurship. One of them is about the halal certificate. When in Indonesia we have BPJPH, in Malaysia they also have JAKIM. They have a similar purposes. How can they certify some businesses into to be considered as the halal businesses? And regarding the opportunities and challenges, Dr. Nur has specifically addressed that Indonesia is the largest consumers in the world. So that's why a lot of countries tries to export all of their product and services, so that people in Indonesia really try to engage into the business too. So how far can we decipher the opportunity for the halal entrepreneurship itself? We still don't know how far can we to engage the businesses from the halal perspective, where the world still look at us, especially for Indonesia, as the greatest importers country in the world. So that's why we need to elaborate further. And the challenges that currently faced by the businesses, not only the micro, small, even the biggest business right now, is the technical technology disruption, where the COVID-19 came up. We still face a lot of problems. How can we make some e-commerce efficiently, especially halalpreneurship? Most of the micro businesses cannot engage into the online to offline to online businesses right now. So that's quite of the challenges that we can face right now. And for the question, I don't know how can I say it. I really appreciate to all participants for your active question, and there are a lot of questions from the chat room and also from the YouTube also. So the first one, what I like to address the question is from brothers Rizky Anfani and Sister Fitri Eka, to both of presenters, speakers. Okay. To Prof Moha and Dr. Nur, is there any no? This is especially for Prof Moha. Is there any distinction concept between halalpreneurship and Islamicpreneurship? You can, Prof Moha, you can give some a simplified elaboration about the distinct concept between halalpreneurship and Islamicpreneurship. Okay, thank you. Please, Prof Moha. Prof Moha, are you there? Prof Moha Asri? Okay, if Prof Moha Asri hasn't been present, I think the next question is for Dr. Nur. For Dr. Nur, maybe you can relate to the question from our sister Tatiana Mukti about how can we respond to the halal certificate in Indonesia, which is this is so difficult and expensive. And how does Malaysia experience also? This is also Prof. Moha Asri also. You should okay, Prof. Moha.
Yeah, sorry, brother Zain.
Okay.
Because earlier I could not open up my mics, and now
Okay.
I was allowed to open up. All right.
Okay.
Come back to the first questions of what is the difference between Islamic Halalpreneurship and Halalpreneur, is it?
Yes, Halalpreneur and Islamic entrepreneur.
Right, and Islamic entrepreneurs. Well, I should think it is about the same, not much difference, because Halalpreneur or halal entrepreneurship is emphasized from the context of halal perspective of the halal industry. That means we still refers to Islamic Sharia principles. We still refers to Maqasid Sharia, all right, which means that in a way it is Islamic halalpreneurships. Why we said it is halal entrepreneurship, it is because, all right, to emphasize, to give due rise to the emergence halal industry in this world. So might as well we have halalpreneurships to further given the rights and the recognitions of the tremendous increase in the halal industry today. So that's one. Secondly, why we should use halal entrepreneurships. To me, Islamophobia is there still. Right, many non-Muslims perhaps afraid to be Islamic halalpreneurship or Islamic what do you say, Islamic halalpreneurs, is it Islamicpreneurship? Yeah. So I still think between the two concepts or two words, halalpreneur or halalpreneurship is still better for Muslims to use it to refer to those individuals who is startups, operates, expands and grow their business through halal means. All right. So therefore, that's why we call it halal, because it's halal mean of initiating startup business, operates their business, grow and expand the business through halal means. That's why I use it as halal entrepreneurship. Thank you, brother. Yeah.
Okay. Next to both of the present of the speakers. Like I present, like from Sister Tatiana, we know that halal certificate in Indonesia is quite difficult, and the process is quite really long. Like what has been addressed by Dr. Noor, the process taken about 2 months, and it is quite expensive for micro businesses. So how do we to respond in this particular problem about the process and the cost for the certification, halal certification, and how that is for Dr. Noor, and for Prof. Moha. Does Malaysia also experience the same problem about the halal process and the cost for the certification halal process? Thank you.
Yeah, if I may answer it first, Zain. All right. It is a similar experience Asia, whereby companies, especially micro, obtain certified bodies of halal in Malaysia. All right, this is due to numbers of reasons. All right, the first I think is because of the issues of non-compliance on the parts of micro entrepreneurs. All right. Second is the issues of costs for some micro enterprises or micro halal entrepreneurs. The cost is quite burdensome for them. they cannot fork out this cost to gain the halal certification, to secure halal certifications. The third is there are here and there in pieces that the officers who deal with the halal certifications does not prompt enough, efficient enough to respond to whatever questions that is raised by micro enterprises. Therefore, that drives the issues. Another issues is that the certification process these days is all online in Malaysia. You have to apply online, but there are processes whereby the auditing should be there, verifications, all right, the source ingredient and whatnot. So there is a process, quite a sequential process, if you like. And because of this, some entrepreneurs brought down with the issue, all right, the lengthiness of the process. Nonetheless, the positive things is that there are numbers of agencies in Malaysia today who provide support programs, financial supports for those who likes to apply for halal certifications. If I mention a few, like Small and Medium Enterprises Corporation, or we call it SME Corps, also provide this. You have MDEX, Malaysian Development Corporations. You have platforms, we call it. There are numbers of institutions, agencies, who offer grants for the entrepreneurs or halalpreneurs to apply for halal certifications. So this is not the loans, but the grants. So I believe it is a very good opportunity for micro, small and medium enterprises, or we call it MSMEs, to go to these agencies. You can scroll and visit the websites of those agencies to get the clear directions on how to go about in applying the grants. Thank you, Brother Moin.
Okay, Dr. Nur, can you also respond to these questions?
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Zain. The first one about halal certification. It must be noted that it is in the word, not only Indonesian words. It means that if we sell something, must be certified halal in order to can be accepted by all people in the world. It is very urgent. The second one about how to respond it. How to respond it. According to release from BPCH, the time for halal certification need about 2 months. How about it? Of course, it is about money, about cost, and also about time. Yeah. According to what I heard from many ministerial, for instance, Kementerian Industri Kreatif, also Kementerian Industri, Kemenperin, also from Kementerian Koperasi, when I meet them in many occasions, there are many schemes, especially financial support for small and medium enterprises to proceed halal certification. It means that especially for small and medium enterprises, they can use the scheme from them, especially financial support in the process of halal certification. It means when small and medium enterprises want to make their product, it is legalized, it is halal, get halal certificate for 4 years, they can contact them to use, to get benefit from them. Kementerian Industri Kreatif, Kementerian Koperasi, and also Kementerian Perindustrian. They provide the scheme about it. That, yeah, I think the question for me, that's Mr. Zen. Thank you very much.
Okay, to summarize, there are quite a distinct from Malaysia and Indonesia, where Malaysia they provide some assistance to provide to produce halal certification for micro and small businesses. They're also supported by a private institution that give them some grant so their businesses can have halal certificate. Where in Indonesia, most of the scheme is assisted by the government institutions such as kementerian that been mentioned by Dr. Nur. So that's quite the assistance for the micro and small enterprises, so they can have halal certificate for their businesses. Okay, that's for Sister Titania, and I think there will be also an oral question from Brother Saifullah Yusuf. I give you an opportunity, please.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Zen. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Professor Moha Asri, thank you for the presentation of the material this morning. And also thank to Dr. Nurholis for the presentation of second material. I was interested.
Excuse me, Brother Saifullah, you are muted by the operator, please.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Okay. Thank you. I was interested in Professor Moha Asri's explanation. So my first question was directed to him. I want to know more about halal food from Professor Moha Asri. In short, it has been explained that there are level of akidah, fikih, and morals, or akhlak. In the application of this concept from halal food business people in their food shops, in particular the application of the concept or moral or akhlak, or in the words of the Prophet Muhammad said to be the application of ihsan. Okay, the second question is for Dr. Nurholis. Yes, is it possible, Doctor, that the UII example will issue a halal certificate in the future? Because you know that in 2015 the UII already has a halalan Taliban research and education center, or HTRAN. What is the role of HTRAN in the UII until now? Maybe that's from me. Once again, thank you so much. Thank you, and for the Mr. Dr. Zen. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam. Okay, Prof. Moha.
Yeah. Assalamualaikum. Thank you for the questions, Brother Saifullah. Who's asking about the halal from the context of halapreneurs that should have the akidah, akhlaq, so on. This is a very core concepts of halapreneurs, because this akidah, akhlaq, niyat, all those should be right from the beginnings to produce goods and services, including food and beverages, because it should be that halapreneurs, the niyat should be correct right from the beginning, which means that to produce goods and services, to provide and contribute to the individual Muslims, communities, and ummah as a whole. It is not just for purely profit incentive and niyat, all right? Because the ultimate objective as for halapreneurs, supposedly as a Muslims, all right, is to get barakah in this world and good deeds in the and barakah in the hereafter. which means that when we said this, akhlaq, niyat, whatnot, it is kind of the blending process of mind and body. Whatever that we do, all right from the thinkings to the activities that we translate, involve a sequential process, a process whereby it should be compliance to the Sharia and Maqasid Sharia. Right from what to produce. All right. So thinking what to produce is, it is a very important to produce that is halal and tayyib. All right. And how to produce is produce goods and products with the halal financing. All right, from the source of capital, and then halal process of mechanizations, halal ingredients, all right, and halal services, all right, to the halal process and to marketing through the halal means of marketing. We cannot over inflate our products and under deliver in terms of quality, say for examples, all right, and go to the consumers, and consumer can consume the products safely, all right, for given quality of the food and beverage or any products through the halal process. So therefore, the readiness on the parts of entrepreneurs should be in the forms of mind and body, understandings of what is required from the Sharia point of view. This is very basics. All right, I was attracted to the comment from Brother Zain from the earlier points, who's emphasized about luxury goods, if I'm not mistaken, earlier. What is the difference between basic needs goods as well as luxury goods? Right. To me, of course, the basic need goods is a must. All right. If there is no other goods in the market, it's a fardu ain for that entrepreneurs, halapreneurs to produce it. And if there is already goods, the similar goods in there, it becomes fardu kifayah. All right. But when it comes to the luxury goods, it is discourageable. It's not encouraged at all to luxuries, because we are not in that form of celebrations. All right, unless in certain circumstances, like say for examples, we are to celebrate Eid Mubarak, say for examples. Normally we eat 2 plates of meals with 2 dishes of food, say for example. Perhaps you would like to have more dishes. Perhaps to some extent it looks a bit of luxury, but it is allowable in the certain festive Islamic seasons. This, I suppose, is allowable, even though discouraged. This is what I meant for it. All right, thank you very much.
Okay, next, Dr. Nur, please kindly respond.
Yeah, thank you very much for the question. Yeah, how about the high trend? Yeah. High trend, yeah, in UII now under simple to, and the director is Dr. from Faculty of Medicine. Now in the process to be lembaga pemeriksa halal, yeah, register to BPJH in order to be lembaga pemeriksa halal. Before it, high trend is halal center studies only. It means that on the study, etc. And the next step, high trend to proceed to be LPH, lembaga pemeriksa halal, Faculty of MIPA, yeah, Faculty of Natural Sciences. Also our faculty of Islamic Studies as central laboratory, etc. According what I heard information lately, it is in the process. Human resources as a auditor must be from engineer, yeah, they are prepared for being licensed auditor, but because of COVID, yeah, it is stuck. Before COVID-19, how many? About 5 lecturers, yeah, join in the program of certification to be auditor in LPPOM MUI, and after it, because of maybe COVID ini, the process stuck, and we hope that the process will be run again in the new normal, in order to, in the short time, High Trend will be lembaga pemeriksa halal as the rule of our university in the halal certification in Indonesia. Thank you very much.
Okay, that's also Brother Saifullah. What has been addressed by Dr. Noor is also answered the question from Sister Ismarti Sohib about the implementation of certification auditors, where the auditor's background essentially is needed when they also have the background from the engineer background. So that will be also help much more to authenticate the process, the businesses, so they can have the halal certification. And next question is about the synergy between Islamic finances to support the micro, small halal entrepreneur. So how far can Islamic finance can solve the capital problem by the halalpreneurship? This question is addressed by Sister Fitri Eka and Sister Ismarti Sohib. Maybe Prof. Moha or Prof. Dr. Noor to respond how this is about. Okay. Who's first?
Oh, sorry, I cannot hear the questions. Can you repeat again? Sorry, brother. Yeah.
Okay, the question is about how does Islamic finances this to synergy with the halalpreneurship, so they can support and promote the current declining capital for funding for their businesses. So that's what has been integrated between the capital and as the inputs for halalpreneurship to support the businesses, even to holistically to become a halalpreneur business.
Right. Okay, thank you, brother, and thank you for the question. Who asked the questions earlier? I can't remember, sorry.
Is Sister Ismarti and Sister Fitri.
All right, thank you, sisters, for your questions. Okay, good. This is very valid questions. This is why from the process of their productions. All right, because right from the capital provisions to support the business, it has to come from the halal source through Islamic finance. So it complements one another. Supposedly, all right, if the product is halal, but the finance is from conventional financing, it is not really halal in a way, even though some scholars, Muslim scholars, in certain countries, especially in non-majority Muslim countries, there is still allowable. All right, and also allowable in the context of Malaysia. We have multi-ethnic entrepreneurs who producing halal goods and services. But this is what we're supposed to emulate and encourage, all right, and with the existing availability of Islamic finance, accessibility of Islamic finance, as well as sufficiency of Islamic financing provisions and facilities in Malaysia, and I believe Indonesia too. This would facilitate the integrations of Islamic financings into the halal entrepreneurship. Thank you.
Okay, Dr. Noor.
Okay, thank you very much about the question. Yeah, according to me, about the contribution of Islamic finance, Islamic finance can contribute in all aspects of halal ecosystem, from input, production, processing and distribution, marketing, also to consumer. Islamic finance can take part in all process of halal ecosystem. It means that when Islamic financial institution take part in the input, for instance, for small and medium enterprises, when they need capital to be provide many goods and services, for example, Islamic financial institution can take part in this condition. Also in developed countries, when developed countries will expand their production, for instance, they need capital, Islamic finance can also take a part in this condition. In the production also, when halalpreneur take the cost in the production, in the process production, there are material input, etc. Maybe need financing based on salam, etc. Islamic financing can take part in this condition also. In distribution, institution halalpreneur that take role in the processing, distribution for transportation, etc. They can also being a partner of Islamic financial institutions, marketing, consumer, etc. It is one part, the contribution of Islamic finance in the halal ecosystem. In the second part, Islamic finance institution can build our ecosystem. For instance, Bank Mandiri Syariah, they build our ecosystem, not only provide financing, but also how bank provide many goods, services, etc. that they can make cooperation with other industry. It means that it is kind of digital strategy, how the Islamic finance or banking, Islamic banking build their own ecosystem, not only provide financing, but also they offer goods and services based on digital strategy and cooperation with any institution. It means that two kind of contribution how Islamic finance take part in the halal entrepreneur. Maybe it is my response. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Nur and Prof. Moha. So basically, when we discussing about the integration between Islamic finances institution and the halalpreneur businesses, the Islamic financial institution essentially to become an enabler for the halal businesses to flourish more. Although the problem may be across for the businesses that are not qualified into the biggest factory or the biggest businesses, because we know that Islamic finances also has a difficulty to access a lot of money to distribute to financing into the big player in the market. And I think this is the last question from Brother Adiwibowo, because there's a lot of questions that have been presented in the chat room and in the private chat room. I think this one is quite interesting to both of speakers. Wait a minute, let me check. To Dr. Moha, Prof. Moha and Dr. Nur, how does Islam view technological development such as blockchain, augmented reality, virtual reality, Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, and so on in their application in the business world? How can it be considered as halal? because this is about the technological development. So how can people just consider what has been provided by the technology is considered to be halal? Thank you, both for Moha and Dr. Nur.
Perhaps Dr. Noor would like to be first then, because I will be second this time around.
Okay, Dr. Nur, please.
Okay, thank you very much, Moha. Okay. Nowadays, we find that many technological product based on many things based on digital and Internet of Things, etc. According to me, actually it is a challenge for us as scholar of Islam, how to give solution, how to give answer to all things about something that derivative from technological product. And here it is the rule of ijtihad. Nowadays, ijtihad can be represented by in Indonesia Majelis Ulama Indonesia, or in terms of finance and also in the halal Dewan Syariah Nasional, they produce fatwa, they produce project of ijtihad based on Al-Quran Sunnah and also based on the opinion from many scholars. Based on this condition, all products derived from technological or Internet of Things, etc., can be answered by Islam, because Islam solihun likulli zaman wa likulli makan. It's suitable anytime and anywhere. It is the instrument for it, ijtihad. Ijtihad done by good scholar, and now scientific ijtihad and conducted collectability, not jama'i, not fardi, not individually but collectively. Now, based on this, when we don't know about how Islam respond or give answer to many things news produced from technological, we can refer from the result of ijtihad of them. Also, we can refer the result of ijtihad from many scholars in the world. Based on it, I tell just now about technological disruption. Many things, for instance, no kasir from human, but kasir based on machine. How it is legalist or it is what permissible based on Sharia, it can be soluted by ijtihad. According to me, when all things in transaction avoid harmful, for instance, riba, maisir, gharar, all things that harmful is avoided, eliminated, all transaction can be permissible or halal. So Islam will be solihun likulli zaman wa likulli makan. So based on the single case, maybe will be discussed more. But what is it? Globally, Islam will give answer all things. All problem will be derived from technological, from digital, can be answered by Islam. That's all, Mr. Zain. Thank you very much.
Okay, the last brief, Prof. Moha.
Yeah, thank you, Brother Muin. Thank you, Dr. Noor. You answer on behalf of me as well. Alhamdulillah. What I would like to extend this answer is that the presence of the technologies today, especially we have the blockchain, Internet of Things, also of cyber presence. today really challenging to the business, including halal in the context of halal entrepreneurship. But to me, I believe that while we are referring to Majlis Ulama, of course, that is a must. But I believe also, if it is contributive positively toward the Ummah, toward the Muslims, and do not contradict with the Sharia and Maqasid Sharia, I think it is allowable. And it is also, we can refer to a couple of examples. Say this blockchain, say for examples, whereby it is good for the halal ecosystems, as what Dr. Noor has said, halal ecosystem, which is good word, whereby we can track and detect every sequence and steps of the products or supply of the product suppliers and distributors, retailers to the end products, from farm to fork, we call it, if it is in the beverage industry, right? From farms to fork. That is the sequential process is traceable, and this is can be emulates from blockchain. That means blockchain helps us to enlighten transparencies in the business transactions for each and individual steps. Doesn't it good to the Muslim? Yes, because we know from the source of funds to the forks, to the table. All right. So the examples clearly shows that it is beneficial and good for the Muslims out of this internet, out of this blockchain, and out of this technology. Therefore, to me, as long as the technology is contributive, positively contributes to the Ummah through the halal operations and halal ecosystem needs, let it be. Unless I also believe that the Majlis Ulama will say no if it is negatively found to be evidence in the process. So it is very much important for halalpreneurs to be on par in terms of knowledge in the technologies today, right? E-commerce, Internet of Things, cyber presence, you should know. They should know, upgrade the knowledge and learn as much as possible for the benefits of the efficiencies and productivity through which, all right, you can be more competitive in the markets out there and compete in the halal way and permissible ways. Thank you very much, Brother Zain, and for the questions. I love that question as well. Thank you. Assalamualaikum.
Okay. I think that's all for our session Q&A session today. I'm really appreciate to Prof. Moha Asri and Dr. Nurholis for the presentation and for the response, and also for all the participants that eagerly to question a lot of questions about the halal topics, halalpreneurship topics today. So basically, I can summarize for everything. Basically, halalpreneur is a promising opportunity both for Muslim and for non-Muslim to engage into such halalpreneurship, because we can decide, we can consider that halalpreneurship basically, although the halalpreneurship based from the Islamic perspective, but the Islamic perspective basically does not necessarily contradict with the religious system for other religion. We know that what has been addressed by Islam is not bringing harms to everybody. The thing is back to the producers and consumers, how they motivate themselves to engage into such a halalpreneurship. They need to reform their motivation so they not engage the businesses to gain some profit, but they need to gain some profit and falah, and also for the betterment of Ummah. I think that's all for our discussion today, and it is a really good presentation, and the audience is also really active, and from the committee they say there will be also a door prize for the lucky audience today. They will be contacted by the committee. I think that's all for today. I hoping this session will be giving us much more enlightenment and knowledge about the Halalpreneurship. Before we close our session, let us recite Hamdalah. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. And then please we take around for 2 minutes to take some photo session. To all participants, please open your video so that the operator can screenshot the participant. So please don't be shy to show your beautiful, handsome faces. So to get a photo session, please operator proceed. You can unmute your audio so we know that you will taking the screenshot. Okay, please.
Check. Okay. I will count 1, 2, 3 for take your picture.
Okay.
For 1, 2, 3. Please wait.
Next.
Next. 1, 2, 3. Next. 1, 2, 3.
Are we done yet?
Glass.
Okay, glass.
Glass once.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Prof. Moha Asri and Dr. Nurholis. Thank you all for all the participants. Thank you so much for attending our session.
Thank you, Prof. Moha, Dr. Nurholis.
Thank you,
everyone.
And I think the committee group. Okay, please. Untuk panitia mungkin bisa nanti jangan keluar dulu biar koordinasi di sini ya, Pak Rizky ya.
Yep, betul.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much. Everybody, please get your certificate.
Adi, apa kabar Adi?
Alhamdulillah baik Bu. Gimana kabar Bu? Ya.
Alhamdulillah.
Oh, alumni hadir alumni.
Azin bagaimana kabar? Aku
alumni
lama.
hadir alumni.
Alhamdulillah baik. Ada Telsi.
Telsi apa kabar Telsi?
Ada Ecing.
Halo Ibu.
Apa kabar?
Ibu, alhamdulillah sehat Ibu.
Aduh kangen sama Telsi.
Iya, kangen Ibu juga.
Kapan ke Jogja?
Ya insya Allah Bu, kalau ada libur mau ke Jogja.
Alhamdulillah.
Mau ke
Iya. Main-main. Kan dikangenin Pak Martin juga.
Iya. Ibu sehat Bu?
Alhamdulillah sehat Mbak, sehat.
Ya, Zain juga, kawan-kawan lain juga.
Halo, Bu Rahmani.
Assalamualaikum Pak Nasuka, matur nuwun.
Salam.
Matur
Ini
nuwun
saya
ya Pak.
di kantor.
Oke.
Daripada cari Jang.
Alhamdulillah saya Pak, saya
Baik.
kuliah juga baik.
Nggih. Nggih, matur nuwun.
Nggih, matur nuwun sangat ya Pak.
Nggih, sami-sami, nggih.